Remember back when Musical.ly changed its name to TikTok? Before this point, it was just kids lip syncing songs, but now it was becoming something new. In the past, people on there were using songs that were already popular, but now TikTok was turning into the place for songs to blow up, and it slowly started becoming competition to SoundCloud. Songs like Old Town Road, Good Girls, Bad Guys, Mine, Roxanne, La La La, and Slow Dancing in the Dark were blowing up on the app. Along with already popular ones, TikTok was taking random artists from their bedroom right into the spotlight in such a short time. Today, we finna be talking about hit or miss. A lot of people remember this song, but not enough people talk about who actually made it. So this begs the question, what happened to I Love Friday? Not a lot is known about these people's childhoods, but we do know that Zaino Carr had already been dropping music as far back as 2015, with him having a couple of music videos on Elevator back in the day, but he never really got a whole lot of attention. He met his girlfriend through some friends that he used to smoke with, and since they would see each other over and over again, that led to them becoming friends, and then eventually they got together. For some reason, she decided to call herself Smoke Hijabi. That name's fucking stupid. I'ma just call her Smoke. Back in 2017, these guys weren't even trying to do music together. Originally, they were actually trying to start a vlog channel. It failed miserably, but this has a lot to do with the story. After switching through a couple of names, they decided to call it I Love Friday because they like to post a video every Friday. Like a lot of upcoming YouTubers, they had trouble staying consistent all the time, and one week they didn't have a video to upload. Zaino Carr had a studio because he had already been making music for some time, so he got the idea that they should just post a song. Smoke had never made a song a day in her life, and even though she didn't want to, he basically peer pressured her into getting on a song because they basically had nothing else to post at the time. They dropped their first song together called Hate Me, and somehow All Urban Central found them and reached out to them and posted the video to their channel. All Urban Central was basically like one of those channels like Lyrical Lemonade, World Star, or Elevator, but this channel wasn't as well known for posting music. They did have a hip-hop audience, but they were usually known for posting clips and drama. So this might not have been the right audience for this because the fans weren't really liking the song when it first came out. She was rapping with the auto-tune up high on this simple ass beat that was clearly made with FL keys, and I can kind of tell this was her first time rapping. Throughout the song, she goes in and out of sounding fire to, okay, you're still learning how to rap. Now, I actually really like the guy's part. That was pretty good. I fuck with that falsetto he was doing. This song was actually decent, but everybody was flaming them in the comments back in the day. Smoke was getting a lot of shit for saying the N-word because she's Pakistani, and she kept saying it constantly throughout the whole thing. They was even going after Zaino because he was letting her get away with saying it. There were also a lot of Muslims getting on her ass for smoking in a hijab because in Islam, it's haram to do that because of how the Quran forbids doing self-destructive things to your health like smoking. And in general, most people were just calling the song trash in all different kinds of hilarious ways. Now, because of the controversies from this video, I Love Friday was actually getting noticed and starting to become known on an underground level. Hate Me got up to 100,000 views in a few months, and even though they were mostly getting hated on, they kept this momentum going with another song called Travel Ban. They made this song in response to Donald Trump putting a travel ban on a bunch of countries in the Middle East back in the day. Zaino Carr is just rapping about some random shit that don't even got to do with the song and sounded stupid as fuck, rapping like Patrick from SpongeBob. Then Smoke comes in and actually talks about the travel ban and said she made it into the US even though she's from Pakistan. But Pakistan wasn't even on the list for the travel ban. Regardless, travel ban got them a lot of attention, not only from people discovering the song, but also from YouTubers like I'm Dante reacting to it. All this attention got the video to 2 million views, and this wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. In January 2018, a photo was going around of a Photoshop tweet of Mia Khalifa calling Smoke a disgrace to Muslims with a photo from that old song Hate Me. Eventually, they saw it, thought it was real, and then they made a diss track against her 2 weeks later. It was popping on SoundCloud, and then they posted the music video to YouTube where it went viral. Throughout the entire song, they were ridiculing her for being a porn star, asking if she wished she never did that, saying she had been ran through by a bunch of guys, and just going out of their way to shame her for her past. This was back in 2018 when everybody was trying to be a SoundCloud rapper doing all kinds of wild shit for clout to somehow get that attention over to their music. These guys seemingly coming out of nowhere and dissing a famous porn star came way out of left field, but at the same time, it fit right in with the scene full of clout chasers at the time. Because of their demeanor and how you could tell they weren't completely taking themselves seriously, especially with this song, they were seen as meme rappers, but this didn't stop it from blowing up. What's crazy is how for 2018 standards, a lot of people thought this was annoying and trash, but if we're being completely honest, it's actually a banger, and it definitely helped that it was really catchy. Zaynokar did a really good job on this song. Everything from the hook to the ad-libs to even producing the beat and sampling Street Fighter just made this whole song as unique as it was. He actually sounded a lot like SoFaygo before SoFaygo was even around. Smoke comes in with a good verse as well, but after she said,
"You play with them balls like it's FIFA,"
she kind of fell off after that point, but it goes right back to the hook again 10 seconds later, so it's fine. Over the next 6 months, the song got 6 million views, and when you thought it couldn't get even better, TikTok found it and turned it into a trend around the same time it just changed its name from Musical.ly in October of 2018. If you thought this song was viral, you would not believe how big it got once it hit TikTok. This was one of the first few songs to even blow up on that app after the rebrand, so at this time, if you blew up, you were finna take over everything over there. There was this whole trend of people dancing to the song, but this TikTok was the most famous of them all. Anytime you think back on this trend, I'm pretty sure this is the video you're thinking of. A part of what made this TikTok blow up so much was how a lot of people thought this was a guy doing cosplay, even though this was actually a girl. That whole situation just brought even more attention to the trend and the song as a whole. The part of the Mia Khalifa diss track where she says,
"Hit or miss, I guess they never miss, huh?"
just so happened to be the part of the song that went super viral. And this is the entire reason why people call it Hit or Miss and not the original name. iLOVEFRiDAY saw how good it was doing on there and changed the name on YouTube and added Hit or Miss and TikTok Anthem into the title. They were already known before this, but TikTok made these guys actually fucking famous. This shit was like one of the biggest songs that whole year, and it brought a lot of people to the app. Even if you weren't on TikTok, this song spread all over the goddamn internet back then, so no matter where you were, you just couldn't escape it. After the success of Mia Khalifa or Hit or Miss or whatever the fuck you want to call it, these guys kept making more songs like Sauce It Up, That's a Shame, Crackhead, and even making diss tracks to people like Whoa Vicky and I'm Dante, but apparently that one was a joke. They also released a couple EPs called iLOVEFRiDAY in 2018 and Mood in 2019. This music got some attention as well among their fan base, but all of them pale in comparison to Mia Khalifa or even Travel Ban. For the rest of 2018 and throughout 2019, they were just coasting off this one song. Apparently, they released it independently through TuneCore, so they had one of the biggest songs that year and got to keep all the money from it. By February 2019, they had already made at least $150,000 from the YouTube views alone. That doesn't even include Spotify, Apple Music, or any other platforms, and the song was only a year old. And according to their manager, they might have made way more by that point. Now, with all the success from this one song, this begs the question, did Mia Khalifa actually respond? Well, for a while, she didn't even say nothing until she got an interview with Anthony Padilla from Smosh in 2020. Here's what she had to say.
How do you feel about the diss track named after you, literally called Mia Khalifa, that has gone so insanely viral thanks to the TikTok, which is purportedly the most viral TikTok in the entire Western world?
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I'm a gangster and I don't really say this too often, but it kind of hurted me a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Your name is attached to something so incredibly popular that is specifically made and fabricated to take you down, or at least create some kind of smear campaign against you.
It was the reason I was so adamant about never, ever, ever going on TikTok. I was terrified of it. I thought that everyone who ever used that song hated me and thought I was a slut, and I would just be completely shunned away from there if I ever stepped foot onto that platform.
I counted, the song literally says your name 38 times in it.
Yeah, well, anytime someone puts my name in something, it's gonna get clicks. So congrats to them for figuring out how to clickbait.
And that was specifically in response to
a fake tweet that they created.
They created the fake tweet?
Yes, there was a whole...
Now, the only thing she got wrong was who made the tweet. Yeah, the tweet was Photoshopped, but iLOVEFRiDAY actually had nothing to do with making the tweet. If you look at the photo, you'll see a watermark that looks like the Supreme logo with the words Trash Pump. If you type Trash Pump pump into Instagram, it'll lead to this old account with a bunch of memes, and if you scroll down for a little bit, you'll find the original photo. It turns out that back in the beginning of 2018, some random guy just decided it would be funny to make a fake tweet of Mia Khalifa making fun of the girl from iLOVEFRiDAY back when they were still underground, and it went way farther than they could have ever predicted. This one photo changed the fucking course of history. Trash Pump basically caused this whole ass butterfly effect to happen by posting this photo. It spread around on the internet. iLOVEFRiDAY saw it. They made the diss track. It blew up, the internet took it and ran with it, and I mean ran with it. It helped TikTok get more popular, which in a way eventually led to it taking over SoundCloud in 2020, leading to where we are today. And while this one meme had such a big impact, to this day, 8 years later, he doesn't get that much credit. Yeah, he is mentioned on the song's Genius page, but most people still have no idea who even created the image in the first place. Despite being responsible for inspiring one of the biggest songs that year and helping push the culture into a different direction, the original meme sits at only 2,000 likes to this day, and he only has 1,000 followers on Instagram. The last time he posted was in 2019, and the last time we ever heard of him was back in 2022 when he replied to a comment, and ever since, it's just been radio silence. So by now, he probably just got over this whole thing because it's been 8 years. So now that we figured out who made the meme, whatever happened to iLOVEFRiDAY? Well, they stopped making music for a while, and after 2019, the song finally started to die down. It still gets a lot of views every year, but by this point, it had already peaked. We would see them come back again in 2020 when they made a video apologizing for making the song in the first place, and then right after that, they said they took back their apology and announced a part 2 to their diss track.
Subscribe to be the first one to hear Hit or Miss Part 2.
But that song would never come out. After this, they dropped one last song together in 2021, and then they started focusing on becoming TikTokers. They were still posting videos together until they broke up in 2023, which led to most of their videos on the iLOVEFRiDAY channel to get deleted, except for the Mia Khalifa diss track and Travel Ban. Ever since they went their own separate ways, they just been fading off into the background. Zaino Card tried going off and having his own solo career, and he had a little bit of attention on YouTube and on Spotify. Oh my God! He had already been trying to become a TikToker, and he had way more success with that, making videos about his biggest song, dragging it into 2022, decided to try being a Twitch streamer for a little bit, then he went back to the same old shit till he took a break for a year. He came back in 2023 to celebrate his silver play button from YouTube, dipped for another 5 months, dropped more music, and apparently he showed up on stream with Speed and Kai Cenat. Hold on. Why do I not remember this? How the fuck did he get with the biggest streamers ever 3 years ago, and I'm just now hearing about this? I think it was a skit. The chat was going crazy because they remembered he made Hit or Miss, but they either didn't realize who he was or they were just acting. Regardless, it didn't put that much of a spotlight on him again. Now, as for Smoke, after they broke up, she left the internet for the most part, came back in 2024 with some TikToks and put out a couple of songs, and that's it. Even though these people are responsible for one of the biggest songs on TikTok in 2018, we don't really hear a whole lot from them nowadays. 8 years later, a lot of people are still bumping this song though, and with over 600,000 listening on Spotify every month, they're still getting thousands of dollars every month. So even if they're not living lavish, they definitely still chilling and getting the bills paid, so they're fine.